with the new album. We're gonna talk really fast. The new album is the people have been like, you know, just waiting with bated breath for this thing. The title is really cool, and I'm not gonna do like the question of like, what's the significance of the title? But what's the significance of the title?
No, I see what you did.
Because it's a really cool. It's a really cool title.
It's disseminated from a poem.
Yeah, Anthem of the Peaceful Army was a poem and it was sort of like I can't remember where the hell we were, but I was just in bed. It was like in this place between sleep and you know, being awake, and you're just kind of going over things in your mind, and I don't know what it was. Must have been some kind of philosophical mood or something, you know, and. That something came, it was kind of like putting it together, and I jumped out of bed and had to write it down. And that was the poem, you know, it's Anthem of the Peaceful Army. And it wasn't until we started recording and trying to get this album together that it made more sense to me that was kind of, you know, that poem kind of, you know, was telling the story of this, or it embodied the purpose of the meaning of the album to a good extent, you know. And so that would be a purpose.
I think it grew in its importance, in its significance when we could start seeing people, you know, in larger groups coming to see us, and I think we started to identify with it as like sort of a peaceful army. It was like there's this thing of unification, and everybody's sharing one experience and all coming together for one thing, and it's music, you know. We're part of that too.
That's cool, because the people at your shows like range from really young to you got gray hairs. Like, you know, and that when I read the title, I was like, that's really cool, because it's just like people coming together to just experience the music and do something positive. So, the songs on the album, did you guys? What was the process like for writing? Did you guys have some songs? Did you sit down like, we're going to write an album now?
We had an initial, like, I think it was 6 originally. We had a bunch of songs that we had for a couple years, and that was the initial push on the album, was we were going to go in and at least have those recorded. And while we were recording those, 6 more came about.
Nice.
And then, you know, just we decided to go back in, we made more time, and then it really just kind of came together pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was a mix of things. I think it was really, we were all really quite shocked how fast it all came together.
Yeah.
You know, it was like...
Because we thought we were going to use all the old songs that we wrote in the past, like,
which I'm
5
highly
years.
against. I think there's something important about writing, being in one place, you
being
know, in
present.
that moment.
Because I think...
What happens there, you know, because you're
Any
never going to write
art-
the same song twice.
Any art is so relative to a specific moment in an artist's life, and like it was important to kind of bookmark where we are. Well, I guess where we were in February when we recorded.
Right, we're already on the second album, so
Does it feel like this is all going really, really fast?
not fast enough.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you know, I'm highly impatient.
Probably just
personally.
slow enough to not kill us. We're at that. It's a razor thin borderline.
We really did. I think it took us a while to figure out where it was too fast and too much, and what was too little, you know. And it's finally, I think, coming together where it's like we're getting away with as much as we can possibly do, because you know, we love it, you know.
Yeah.
We're only humans, man.
Stop asking us to do this. Have you had like an aha moment along the way where it kind of like hit you?
A lot of aha moments.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, ooh, yeah.
It's like that. It's that great puzzle, you know. It's
That's life.
It's beautifully stimulating. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So what's after this album? I mean, you're constantly touring. Where do you guys? Did you set out with a goal? I guess is my point. Like, I know that the music comes out of you kind of organically and naturally, but do you guys sit and say as a band, we want to do this?
I think
over a long period of time?
I think regarding. Are you talking about the album or
Just in general?
We have goals in a band, except for they just never happen the way, like, you know, we write them out. I mean, yeah, we have goals because that's how you keep your focus and you move forward. But you can't control how things turn out.
Yeah, I think as an entity and as a single unit, we all kind of share a lot of the same goals, and I think that's important to being on the same page and staying together. And I think that if you have that common goal, then you're all fighting for, you know, to achieve that, and it's an important thing.
You'd be surprised though how many people don't stop and think about that stuff and have goals.
Right.
I don't have any. But I'm here sitting talking to you guys, so
That's
it
your
worked
rule,
out.
though.
It
It's
worked
important. It's important. Your rule is you don't have a rule.
Yeah, man, life's what happens when you're busy making plans.
Yeah.
Wise man once said. Speaking of wise men, there's been some great reception from some of the elder statesmen of rock and roll. When that kind of thing happens, whether it's Robert Plant or Elton John, having you guys come play, there he is back there.
Yeah, right now.
Sir Elton.
How you doing?
How's that like? How's that feel?
Special.
Humbling.
I don't know. It's kind of like you feel that you belong in this this world. You know that you kind of have been accepted into this very private club of rock and roll. You know, because when you're coming up, and I mean, you feel like very small, nothing. You know, and that's part of just sort of doing it. You know, when you would go play clubs or bars, or even like we did some biker gigs, and yeah, just stuff like that. You kind of feel so small, but you're just making it, you know, and you're doing it, and you sort of like are trying to be somebody, you know, find what you're doing, you know, and make that evident, or have this creative identity, and you know, eventually doing it so long and proceeded, you kind of eventually. It's like, okay, well, now that something like that has happened, you feel that you belong there.
It kind of seems like rites of passage, you know,
Yeah.
in a sense too. Like the the torchbearers, you know, the guys who are like handing that down. And if it's, you know, no one else has to give us permission to do anything other than ourselves. But when someone like Elton John says something to you, or Robert Plant, and has accolades, and it gives you even more permission to go ahead and move forward and break these rules, you know, and play rock and roll music, right?
Well, listen, man, as a big fan of what you guys are doing, thank you so much for coming in and spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's a very
Perfect
beautiful
I know,
time.
I'm watching.
Oh, time for
You got another half an hour.
We got-
They stop rolling.